Welcome to Sports Bios. I'm your host, Howard Closewell. Today, we're going to explore the extraordinary life of Joe Louis, one of the most iconic figures in American sports history. Born May 13, 1914, in Lafayette, Alabama. Joe Louis would rise from humble beginnings to become a world heavyweight champion, a cultural phenomenon, and a symbol of hope for African Americans during the tumultuous 1930s. As we delve into the early life of Joe Louis, it's essential to understand the historical context that shaped his formative years. The rural South of the early 20th century was marked by racial segregation, poverty, and limited opportunities for African Americans. Despite these challenges, Joe Louis's family instilled in him a strong sense of resilience and determination. His father, Monroe Barrow, was a sharecropper who had fought in World War I, while his mother, Lily Barrow, was a homemaker who encouraged her children to pursue their dreams. The Barrow family lived on a small farm in Chambers County, Alabama, where Joe Louis spent his early childhood. He was the seventh of 8 children, and from a young age, he learned the value of hard work, helping his parents with chores and tending to the family's crops. In 1920, the family moved to Detroit, Michigan, seeking better economic opportunities in the burgeoning automotive industry. As Joe Louis navigated the unfamiliar streets of Detroit, he faced new challenges, including racism and poverty. However, he also discovered a passion for sports, particularly boxing, which would become his ticket out of poverty. He attended Bronson Vocational School, where he honed his boxing skills under the guidance of Coach George Slayton. On a typical day, Joe Louis would wake up before dawn to help his mother with household chores, then head off to school, where he struggled to balance his academic pursuits with his passion for athletics. Despite these challenges, he found solace in the words of his mother, who encouraged him to pursue his dreams, no matter how impossible they seemed. As I reflect on Joe Louis's early life, I am reminded of the wise words of Langston Hughes, who wrote, "Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is like a broken-winged bird that cannot fly." In 1924, Joe Louis began working at the Ford Motor Company's River Rouge plant, where he labored alongside thousands of other African-American workers. The grueling conditions and long hours took a toll on his body, but he persevered, using the experience to fuel his determination to succeed in boxing. It was during this period that he met his first boxing coach, Jack Blackburn, who would become a mentor and guide him through the early years of his career. As we explore the formative years of Joe Louis, it becomes clear that his experiences were shaped by the historical context of his time. The 1920s and 1930s were marked by racial tension, economic hardship, and social change. African Americans faced significant barriers to equality, from segregation to limited access to education and employment opportunities. Yet, despite these challenges, Joe Louis's family and community instilled in him a strong sense of pride and purpose. In the summer of 1929, Joe Louis began training at the Brewster Recreation Center in Detroit, where he honed his boxing skills under the guidance of Coach Blackburn. He quickly made a name for himself in local boxing circles, winning several amateur bouts and earning recognition as one of the top young boxers in the city. The year is 1932, and Joe Louis is about to turn professional, launching a career that would soon captivate the nation. The journey ahead is nothing short of extraordinary, filled with triumphs, controversies, and the enduring legacy of a man who transcended his sport to become an icon of American history. As a young professional boxer, Joe Louis faced numerous challenges, from navigating the complexities of the boxing world to confronting the harsh realities of racism in America. Despite these obstacles, he persevered, relying on his unwavering determination and unshakable confidence. Under the guidance of his trainer, Jack Blackburn, Joe Louis honed his skills, developing a distinctive fighting style that would become his hallmark. On July 4, 1932. Joe Louis made his professional debut, defeating Johnny Myler in a 3-round bout at the Bacon's Arena in Chicago. This victory marked the beginning of an impressive winning streak, as Joe Louis went on to defeat a series of formidable opponents, including Patsy Perroni and Al Delaney. His early successes earned him recognition within the boxing community, and he quickly became known for his formidable punching power and aggressive fighting style. As Joe Louis's reputation grew, so did his popularity. He began to attract attention from the media, with newspapers and magazines featuring stories about the young boxer from Detroit. In 1933, he faced off against Max Baer, a formidable opponent who would later become the heavyweight champion of the world. Although Joe Louis lost this bout by technical knockout in the 10th round, he gained valuable experience and learned from his mistakes. The year 1934 proved to be a pivotal one for Joe Louis. He began working with Mike Jacobs, a prominent boxing promoter, who helped him secure high-profile fights and negotiate better pay. This partnership marked a significant turning point in Joe Louis' career, as he started to gain more recognition and financial rewards for his efforts. On January 7, 1935, Joe Louis faced off against Hans Berkey, a German boxer, at the Madison Square Garden in New York City. The bout was highly publicized, with many seeing it as an opportunity for Joe Louis to prove himself on the biggest stage in boxing. He did not disappoint, knocking out Berkey in the first round and cementing his reputation as a formidable fighter. As Joe Louis's fame grew, he became a cultural phenomenon, transcending the world of sports to become a symbol of hope and inspiration for African Americans during the tumultuous 1930s. His rags-to-riches story, combined with his impressive boxing skills, made him a beloved figure in American society. One of the most significant moments in Joe Louis's career came on June 19, 1936, when he faced off against Max Schmeling, a German boxer and former heavyweight champion of the world. The bout was highly publicized, with many seeing it as a clash between two boxing titans. Unfortunately for Joe Louis, he suffered a devastating loss, being knocked out by Schmeling in the 12th round. Despite this setback, Joe Louis persevered, using the experience to fuel his determination and train harder than ever before. He went on to win several more bouts, including victories over Bob Pastor and Natty Brown, before facing off against James J. Braddock for the heavyweight championship of the world. The fight against Braddock took place on June 22, 1937, at Comiskey Park in Chicago. Joe Louis dominated the bout, knocking out Braddock in the 8th round to become the new heavyweight champion of the world. This victory marked a significant milestone in his career, as he became the first African-American to hold the title since Jack Johnson in 1910. His legacy extends far beyond his impressive boxing record, as he became a symbol of hope and inspiration for generations to come. The year 1938 proved to be a significant one for Joe Louis, as he defended his heavyweight title against Max Schmeling in a highly anticipated rematch. The bout took place on June 22, 1938, at Yankee Stadium in New York City, with Joe Louis seeking revenge for his earlier loss to the German boxer. In a dominating performance, Joe Louis knocked out Schmeling in just 2 minutes and 4 seconds of the first round, cementing his reputation as one of the greatest boxers of all time. This victory was not only a testament to Joe Louis's boxing prowess, but also carried significant cultural and historical weight. It came at a time when Nazi Germany, under Adolf Hitler, was rising to power in Europe, and Schmeling had become a symbol of German strength and ideology. Joe Louis's win over Schmeling was seen as a victory for America and democracy, earning him widespread acclaim and admiration from the public. Following his victory over Schmeling, Joe Louis continued to defend his title against various opponents, including Billy Conn, whom he defeated on June 18, 1941, at the Polo Grounds in New York City. This fight was notable not only for Joe Louis' win, but also for the impressive performance by Conn, who went the distance with the champion and earned a reputation as one of the greatest light heavyweight boxers of all time. Joe Louis's career was interrupted by World War II, during which he served in the United States Army. His military service included boxing exhibitions for the troops and participating in bond drives to support the war effort. Joe Louis's contributions to the war effort were recognized with the Legion of Merit Award, highlighting his commitment to serving his country. After the war, Joe Louis returned to boxing but faced a new generation of fighters, including Rocky Marciano. Their fight on October 26, 1951, at Madison Square Garden in New York City, marked one of the most significant bouts of Joe Louis's later career. Although he lost to Marciano by technical knockout in the 8th round, Joe Louis showed remarkable resilience and determination, earning respect from fans and critics alike. As Joe Louis's boxing career drew to a close, he faced financial difficulties and personal struggles, including a highly publicized tax dispute with the IRS. Despite these challenges, his legacy as a boxer and a cultural icon endured. He remained an active figure in American sports, participating in various business ventures and making appearances at boxing events. Joe Louis's impact on American society extends far beyond his achievements in the ring. He broke down racial barriers in sports, paving the way for future generations of African-American athletes. His rags-to-riches story, combined with his humility and kindness, made him a beloved figure across America, transcending the world of boxing to become an icon of hope and perseverance. In reflecting on Joe Louis's life and career, it becomes clear that his legacy is not just about his impressive boxing record or his historical significance, but also about the values he embodied: determination, resilience, and a commitment to excellence. As we conclude our exploration of Joe Louis's extraordinary life, we remember him not only as one of the greatest boxers of all time, but also as a symbol of hope, inspiration, and the indomitable human spirit. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of Joe Louis on Sports Bios. That's all for today's Sports Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Howard Closewell reminding you to keep shooting for your goals.